As Rogue and her team of outlier mutants lick their wounds following the raid on Greymulkin, will her young team be ready to face a brand new breed of Sentinel? Well, let's hop into the pages of Uncanny X Men issue number 9 and find out together, shall we? So then, as we join the book, we're deep underground Greymulkin prison, where we are reintroduced to Lawrence Trask. Yeah, apparently he's been here the whole time working with Dr. Ellis. I get the sneaking suspicion this would probably make more sense to me if I read that Sentinel book meant to, just never got around to it. Today is a big day for Trask as he is showing off his brand new weapon systems to some tin pot dictator looking to police mutants in his nation. Of course, that kind of thing is quite the legal gray area right now. The American government may have tried to make nice with the mutants of Krakoa by shutting down all the Sentinel factories, but that still doesn't stop Trask from abusing loopholes to create his brand new Sentinel project, the Wolfpack Sentinels. Basically, think Weapon X but for stray dogs. Unlike the big, bulky mutant killing machines that are the classic Sentinels, these things are small, agile, stealthy, and easy to get behind enemy lines. We technically already saw these things used during the raid on Greymulkin event, and they just kind of brought them out with no explanation. I don't know why they waited to tell us what they were all about here and now, or why they were such a big deal, but hey, now we have our answer, don't we? Of course, these things aren't 100% perfect just yet. They still have some bugs. Mainly a propensity to go nuts and hunt and kill things that aren't exactly mutants. Not that the dictator cares that much at all. In fact, he wants a couple dozen in hopes that he can use them to go after his political rivals back home. Now, back at Haven House, Gambit, Logan, Wolverine, and Rogue are all raising a glass to a job well done. They survived another crisis and will live to see another day. There's also a really fun exchange here wherein Nightcrawler was the one who bought the beer for the party. Obviously, Gambit wanted American, Wolverine wanted Canadian, but Kurt bought German. With that problem behind them, Rogue and the others begin to double down on what they were dealing with before the big crossover event, mainly the prophecy that one of their new outlier mutants might just end up being the cause for the end of the world. Ugh, bummer. Also, too, I like when we compare this team of uncanny mutants to all the other new young mutants in the other books. It really does feel like Rogue and her team got the problem cases. Of course, because no one actually knows who the potential world ender might be, and because they don't really have a school anymore, Rogue has decided that they need to be the school. Every member of the team will pick a new mutant who's going to be their own personal mentee project moving forward. Jubilee draws Death Dream, and I mean, hey, it makes sense. He's dark, morose, and overall very depressed, while Jubilee is quite literally sunshine, smiles, and fireworks. Jubilation tries to ask Hatoro about his life before he went on the run, only to receive several very dark answers. Hey, do you talk to your parents anymore? Yes, all the time. They don't remember me anymore, and it makes me sad. I like to hang out with my friends at the mall. Do you do that? Yes, the morticians are my friends. Every time I die and come back to life. You know what? Maybe stop talking to this kid. Also, while we're on the subject of hidden depth, it seems that Calico was actually quite the dancer back in the day. Her overprotective helicopter mom wouldn't let her have a dance partner, though. So, Jitter decides to help her out by copying the physical moves of the greatest male ballerinas out there. It's a very sweet little scene, and also, hey, is a dance just a dance, or is there maybe more going on here? Then, of course, there's Ransom, who overheard Rogue and the other teachers talking about one of them potentially being dangerous, and well, he didn't take that very well at all, and because of that, he's decided to pull a runner. Luckily, Wolverine is there to stop him. Because damn it, kid, I guess you're my draft pick. You're hard-headed, impetuous, always the first to throw a punch, always the first to defend your team. Damn it, you remind me too much of me. This is actually a pretty fun and unexpected twist on the old formula, because usually in comic books, Wolverine ends up mentoring some young peppy girl, but now he basically gets his own personal mini-me. Now, the next day, Rogue and the other instructors decide to try another one of those outside-the-box training exercises. Can the kids go to the mall and buy some clothes without starting any trouble? In fact, every kid gets $400 too, which is pretty damn generous and also a good way to test their responsibility. Of course, what none of them know is that Trask and the Greymulkin people are still watching them and decide now is the opportune time to send out the Wolfpack Sentinels on their own personal dry run. This means the young mutants' nice day of Auntie Anne pretzels and Banana Republic shopping ends up getting shattered as the very bad dogs end up swarming the mall. At first, Death Dream isn't scared. He's not scared of most things because, well, most things are terrified of him. Unfortunately, it's here in this issue we end up finding out the limits of Death Dream's powers. Mainly, they don't work on any anything or inorganic, meaning he's a sitting duck right now, and Ransom and the others have to rush in to save him. Also, we get a fun bit there too where Calico activates her fire armor, only now it's samurai themed. Simone also does a great job putting in some commentary about America's many malls. There are way too many phone stores here, and I agree. Now, while all this is going on, back at Greymalkin, Dr. Ellis tears an absolute strip out of Trask for running this test without her say-so. God, first the witch, now Trask. This lady has a terrible track record of keeping track of her people, doesn't she? As Trask goes on to explain, this isn't a regular test because these aren't your regular Wolfpack Sentinels. These ones are different. They have a rare bug inside their AI code that Trask was looking to explore and exploit. Mainly, these things actually have a taste for blood. And as the comic comes to a close, they get that blood too, as Death Dream is seemingly cut down in the line of duty. What? I'm not worried about him. His name is literally Death Dream. We saw in his flashback he comes back to life all the time. And so that was Uncanny X Men issue number 9, everybody, and I'm happy to say this issue actually does a really solid job washing the bad taste out of my mouth that was left over from the events of Assault on Greymalkin. An event that, keep in mind, was so bad it actually caused me to go back and prune many of my X-Men titles, though I am glad I kept with this one because what Gail Simone does best, she continues to do. Great characterization, great team dynamics, genuinely funny jokes, and the promise of much more to come. As far as new antagonists go, I don't know if the Wolfpack Sentinels really reinvent the wheel when it comes to mutant hunting killing machines, but there definitely is an extra dimension of sadness because these are stray dogs. And these new Outlier mutants are all kind of young strays themselves, so there's a nice little bit of juxtaposition and reflection going on there, which I appreciate from a storytelling point of view. And it looks like now that we're not doing the crossover thing anymore, we're actually going to get more focus onto these young mutants, their histories, and what makes them tick. Death Dream is up first, and as the name might lead you to believe, his storyline is all about death and how he personally relates to it. Overall, I think I'd feel comfortable giving this one a 7.5 out of 10. Pretty damn good, but also lots of room to grow too. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.